Hi, I'm Nan Simonsen, and I'm about to make my husband's favorite roasted Brussels sprouts. So I thought I would invite you into my kitchen and invite you along. This is the easiest, tastiest way that I have found to do Brussels sprouts. I've steamed them ahead and roasted them, and sometimes they're too dark and sometimes they're not. And I just think this is delicious. So what I've done is I've cut large Brussels sprouts in half, and I have this little pile here to show you that if you cut the end off of a Brussels sprout, you're going to end up with leaves. First of all, I washed them. Then I cut the end off. Then I ended up with some leaves. Don't throw these away. You can shred them. Just finely cut them and throw them into a salad. There's even something called cruciferous crunch that does exactly that. Well, kind of like that. They just have shredded Brussels sprout in their mixture of cabbage and kale and cruciferous vegetables. You know what a cruciferous vegetable is? It's one that has, well, it's broccoli, cabbage, cauliflower, Brussels sprouts, bok choy, and it's a type of vegetable that has this fabulous element called sulforaphane that is so good for you. And it's advised on a regular basis that we eat them on a regular basis. So, okay, I've cut them in half. This was 1 pound of Brussels sprouts. I'm going to put them in a bag. I could put them in a bowl, but I want them to absorb as much of this as I can get them to absorb. So I'm going to sort of massage it in. Why? Because if I put them on my tray to roast, and they're going to be at 400 in my air fryer, but you could just do it in a roasting oven, in an oven, the sauce is going to burn, and I'd prefer that the sauce be in here and just kind of allow them to roast and slightly steam and stay moist. So I started out with some tamari. This is a low sodium tamari. Tamari is a gluten-free soy sauce. You can use, this came to heat, you can use soy sauce. You can use coconut aminos if you don't want to use any kind of soy. I added a tablespoon of maple syrup. I could have used a tablespoon of date syrup. I could have used agave. I prefer actually date paste, but I tried these with date paste and it didn't work that well. So I'm using the maple syrup. Then I'm going to add to it some seasoning. For example, I'm going to add a teaspoon of chili powder, but this was kind of a fun chili powder. It's an organic Frontier Co-op chili powder that also has cumin and garlic and oregano. Well, I'm going to be adding some garlic powder, but I still like the idea of that little bit of cumin and oregano, which of course I could have simply added, but I've bought the chili powder, so I might as well use it. So a teaspoon of that. And then I'm going to add a half a teaspoon each of onion powder. And I happen to love these, oh, this is garlic, these Tupperware seasoning containers because I can scrape my, the measuring spoon through it. And so I've got garlic powder, onion powder, half a teaspoon of each. I'm going to use a quarter of a teaspoon. I just took a little bit of salt. I'm not completely SOF, meaning salt, oil, and sugar free. I don't use added oil, so there's no oil in this. And I don't use processed sugars, but I do use a little salt, and you can simply leave that off. And I'm putting in a tablespoon of nutritional yeast. I think nutritional yeast does so much for just about everything because it adds a lot of flavor. And I'm simply mixing this into, I was going to say a paste, but it's not really a paste. It's a slurry. And now I'm going to just throw this into the bag. And you're going to see what I'm going to do with it. I'm going to clean it out this way. And I'll get to a point where I push the air out and I kind of press it all together. It's funny because I've done this in a bowl and I just think this works better. So you can just use any kind of a bag you've got around. You could use a Ziploc bag, but that seems to be a waste of that much of a, I don't know, a useful tool for something else. Because once this is done, there's no rinsing it and putting it back and using it again. It's just too messy. That's it. So I don't have any of the sauce left to cause any problems in the oven, because what you find is these sauces just burn when they're sitting in pools in a hot oven. And then I have the tray that goes in, and I'm using my Breville oven. I have this big, beautiful oven that I don't use very often because I like the Breville because it's small, heats quickly, and doesn't use the energy that that one uses. That, if I was doing if I were to be doing an entire tray, then I would have used my regular oven. And so it is used from time to time. I'm going to turn them all face down. And I'm going to give this usually 15 minutes if they're relatively small Brussels sprouts, but they were pretty big. So I'm going to give it 20, but I'll be checking it. And I'm going to turn it, if I think about it, halfway. I've done that and kind of like the results better, but I've also not done that and it's just fine. So this is it. It is 10, whoops, I had the cover open. Hold on. It's 10 to 5. My husband will be home in a bit. I want to get them started. And I have a few glazed almonds. There's a couple of sesame glazed and a couple of tamari glazed or teriyaki glazed. And I'm going to cut them, chop them, and they could be almonds that you toasted with a little bit of date paste for a teeny bit of sweetness. I'm going to chop them, and when I'm finished, I scatter them over. The other thing that I do is when these are finished and they are at the, and sort of poke them, you want them to be soft, and they'll be brown but not black. When they are finished, and that's why if he's 20 minutes late, 30 minutes late, it's going to be okay, because I use the parchment paper to, and if you don't have parchment paper, consider getting it at either a supply store like what we have in Southern California, which is Smart and Final, or you can get them, and you're going to get a lot if you get it this way, but you can get it, see Kirkland brand parchment paper at Costco, because you'll find nothing this well priced. This is 205 feet. You can buy 25 feet for the cost of, well, when you break out the cost, because you get 2 when you buy it from Costco. It's just well worth having it on hand, lining pans with it when you don't use oil, which I never do. I shouldn't say never. I've sprayed things and then wiped it off with a towel if I was going to do something rather delicate in a non-stick pan and feared for it to stick. So what I was going to say is that when this is finished, I'll use that parchment paper, because by then they've shrunk. I'll use the parchment paper and lay it over itself, kind of crimp it on the ends, and just leave it in the warm oven. The nice thing about the Breville oven, and I have no affiliation, is that I can turn it down to 155 degrees. I do that at dinner time and put plates in to keep things warm. I could turn it down to 125 to 100, but 155 I can still handle, and it will keep it moist and it'll keep it well, perfect for eating. Well, I hope you learned something. Again, I'm Nan Simonsen. I'm the author of Aging Powerfully, an Amazon and Audible bestseller about lifestyle choices that will allow you to age with power. Have a great day, because I know I'm going to. Bye-bye.